it's embarrassing and disheartening, and it's a kick in the butt.
Maybe I'm just a little girl with great big plans.
Carissa, how old are you today?
Go with Madeline.
5.
5. And are we at your favorite animal?
Giraffes.
Giraffes, are they your favorite? So I said I was going for a walk this week, and I couldn't think of a better way to get in that walk than at the zoo for Clarissa's 5th birthday. She is loving it. She's up climbing in a weird tree house sort of thing so she can get a better look at the giraffes. And I'm just hanging out here with Mr. Maverick while we wait for them to come back. But I am really pleased with my choice. I mean, I'm only doing the one walk this week, so might as well make it count. So we're gonna be actually back next week during spring break, because I know when we get home today and my eldest gets home from school, she's gonna be so mad that we went to the zoo without her today. But birthday trips, man, she gets to do something solo for her birthday in September. But he is like awake, and he's been checking out everything and looking around as much as he can while he's strapped in with the Moby wrap. But he is loving being outside, and it is a beautiful day today.
I'm gonna live a crazy dream, impossible as it may seem. Doesn't matter what the future brings, I'm gonna live a crazy dream. And I wanna hold the whole wide world right here in my open hands. And maybe I'm just a little girl with great big plans. I wanna hold the whole wide world right here in my open hands. And maybe I'm just a little girl with great big plans.
Alright, so we made it through the zoo. We spent about an hour there and then had to head home because it's early release day for Monkey. And so we got home, and now I'm sitting outside of my daughter's OT office. And I gotta be honest, you guys, I was before, when I was like working out and I was doing stuff regularly, I was able to walk that whole zoo without sitting down. Like, I could crush that zoo. And it was kind of disheartening to be there today and realize like how much kind of a year being sedentary again has done, because I could not get very far. Like, it was horrible. Like, I found myself sitting down at most of the benches again, and my ankle, I mean, like, I twisted my ankle the other day, so I mean, like, that's part of it, but I can't just like, I can't honestly say that it was all my ankle. Like, I was getting winded, which was not normal for me. Like, before, seriously, I could crush that zoo. I was able to walk the whole thing without needing to sit down. I could just drink some water, and I was like cruising around, doing my thing. The hills didn't bother me. And today, like, I was strategically like planning the route so that it was the flattest, and we honestly didn't get very far. I think we saw 4 animals with the route we took, because there's some gaps, there's like big sections in between. But like, how pitiful is that? I mean, I know we only had an hour, and I had to stop and feed Maverick. He wanted to eat while we were there, but still only 4 animals in that hour, and I felt so bad because we kind of went for Clarissa's birthday today. We're gonna go again next week, and you know what? I'm gonna make sure I have the right shoes, because I wore my flats today because we didn't decide we were going to the zoo till after we'd already left the house. So I will be prepared with tennis shoes. I am going to get much further, and we're gonna have a lot more time at the zoo, so even if I need to sit down, I do not care. But we will conquer that zoo, and we will see all the animals we want to see, and I am determined to get back to where I was, because this is such a horrible feeling. Like, and I try not to say anything when I was there, and I try not to make a big deal about it, but I can tell you guys that it's really frustrating to see that downslide in my own health and fitness. Like, granted, I was still obese, but you know what? Like, I was able to walk. I was able to get around, and I didn't need to stop every bench, which at this zoo, they are aplenty. I will let you know that. Like, you can see the next bench from the bench you're on. There is no shortage of benches, and like, each one was like, that was like my goal. I was like, let me just get to the next bench. Oh my goodness. Like, it's embarrassing and disheartening, and it's a kick in the butt. Like, it made me so glad that I resisted this morning as my daughter was having her birthday pancakes and my husband is having donuts, and like there is all kinds of like, they were eating all kinds of treats and stuff, and I'm just sitting there eating my eggs with my bacon, and I'm having a good time with that. And like, I can't, like, I'm so glad that like I had that split second where I was like, oh, I wish I could eat what they're eating. But you know what? When I was walking that zoo and I couldn't get my butt from one bench to the other without like wanting to die, I was so glad that I passed, because seriously, my goals, my health, my freaking life is worth more than a freaking donut, okay? Like, yeah, it was gonna taste good for a minute. It was gonna be satisfying for a minute. But you know what would be a lot more satisfying? Being able to walk the whole zoo with my kids without having to sit down every 2.5 minutes. That would be much more satisfying. And so I am really glad that I did not give in to that thought. I didn't entertain it. Like, I saw it, I accepted the fact that I was kind of like, I wish I could eat that. And then went, nope, it doesn't align with your goals. And I moved on with my life and went back to my food and was happy with it. Like, I'm glad that's where I was today, because that thing with the zoo was a real eye-opener for me. Like, I did not expect that. I expected to get there and for it to be fine. Like, I thought I'd be a little bit hot because I was wearing the little man, and so I figured I'd be a little bit hot, but I didn't think I was gonna be dying. Like, I didn't think I was gonna be unable to breathe. I didn't think I was going to be like limping my way out of the zoo by the time we were done. Like, I cramped up in the parking lot before we got to my car. I started cramping and I had to stop, and I was like, I'm cramping, and my husband's like, we're almost there, and I'm like, I know, and like, I had to just take a deep breath and try to walk it off, but I just can't, and I don't know how I let myself like ever live like that before. Like, I know this time, like, I gained weight while I was pregnant, while I was off keto, because my doctor told me not to go back on, but like, how was I living like that, and how are other people living like that? I think, honestly, once you've lived better, it's horrible to go back, like, to feel what it feels like before, like what you were like before. Once you felt like what it feels like to be better, downsliding to the way you were before is horrible, like, so horrible. And I think for me, it's really eye-opening, because I was an obese kid, so like, I don't feel like most of the time I really know any better. Like, this has always been my normal, and so when I start feeling better, when I have all this energy, when I'm feeling good, when I'm able to go out and like crush walking around without any problems, and I'm able to go do whatever I want to do, I can fit in the chairs, I can sit and think, like, when I can do all those things, and then to start downsliding and being like, oh, I suddenly don't fit in this chair anymore, and oh, now my steering wheel touches my stomach again, and oh, these clothes are getting really tight. Like, when you start having that, when you've been in a better place, it is horrible. And I feel like it's a definite kick in the pants. And I think I'm wondering, right, to myself, if that is an issue that a lot of obese people have, because in my experience, a lot of people that get up to the like morbidly obese category, we're from like 500-600 pounds up there, they're usually people that were already obese as teenagers, as kids, etc. And so I'm wondering, like, as I'm watching them now, I'm just like, how can you live like that? Like, how can you not want to better yourself? How can you not want to fix this? And I'm wondering now if it's the same thing I had, where it's like they just don't know any better because that's their normal. Like, yes, we know it's not healthy. Just like a smoker knows that what they're doing is not healthy. Like, continuing to tell us that we're gonna get heart disease, or we're gonna get diabetes, like, that doesn't change anything. That's like telling a smoker you're gonna get cancer. They know, okay? Like, hammering that home isn't gonna change anything. But in this case, if you've been obese your entire life, you've become accustomed to not being able to breathe, to getting tired, to having knee pain, to having back pain, to all of these things, to where you don't know that life can be so much better, that it's how good it feels when you're not in that place. Granted, I have still never been thin. Never gonna say that I have been. I haven't. I never was. But I got down to the 350s from being almost 500 pounds, and I can tell you how much better 350 feels than 500. So I can only imagine how much better 250, 150 is gonna feel over 350 and 500. Like, I can only imagine it's gonna feel so fantastic that I am feeling so pumped and motivated right now. So I'm sorry that I'm ranting. I'm sorry if I'm yelling. I'm feeling a certain type of way about this right now, and I wanted to get it out. So if you guys have any sort of comments or ideas or anything about it, please feel free to put it down below. Let me know what you think about my theory, and just how you guys are doing right now this week. This is kind of like a midweek check-in. I just wanted to kind of film my walk because I said I was gonna go for one, and I wanted to show you guys where I went and celebrate my daughter's 5th birthday, and that's pretty exciting for us that she's 5. I can't believe it, she's already 5. And now I have this little guy who's already 6 weeks old. Like, how? Ugh. They gotta slow down. They gotta slow down. I like them little. I like them when they're little babies. I don't want my little babies to grow up yet. But anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for being part of my walk today and part of my rant today. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up. If you are not subscribed already, please consider subscribing so that you get all of my content. And until next time, remember to take it one meal at a time, one workout at a time, one bench at a time, one day at a time. You got this.